everybody, and welcome to the Disabled Team. Hope everybody's doing well. As you can see in the chat, Paul Malley's legs really giving him some jip, and he has been having problems with it for quite some time now. So hope you get well soon, Malley, and make sure you rest your leg, mate. Make sure you rest your leg. Big Malley, get well soon. Yeah, totally agree, Bandy. Hope you're doing well, mate. Hope you're doing well. Right, well, let's talk about why we're all here. Press conference reaction. I thought it was a good press conference. I'm not going to lie. You know, normally they drag on, don't they? But for some reason, with Farker, you try and listen and you try soak in every word he says. Is that sort of a? It's got that. What's that word? Is charismatic. It's got that charismatic. You know what I mean? It's got that. It's very likable. Is Daniel Farker. Big malicious thanks. Nobody's at all, mate. Right. Well, first of all, he got asked about, from integrating his players, and he said that it's much needed, necessary, and it was good. Because so many of them are away on international duty. He works individually with players regarding the shape and stuff. He says that it was much needed, and I think it was. Let's be honest, I really do. He got asked about if there were any injuries, any injury concerns, and he says it's better now. He says Bamford's out still, Dallas is out long term, but he's improving. Firpo's out, but he trained last week, but he's got a hip problem. But at least Firpo's back on training pitch, which is, whether you like Firpo or not, that's a good thing. Good morning, Brother Wally. Hope you're doing well. Jed Spence out. Yeah. Well, he missed some training due to personal reasons, and he got a knock. So he's a major doubt for the Millwall game, Mally. It's a major doubt. Charismatic, that's it. That's the word. It's charismatic. Thank you, Bandy. Much appreciated. Please beat Millwall. Don't we all? Have you noticed, Brother Wally? We have got a lot in common, us and West Ham. We can't stand Spurs. We can't stand West Ham. We definitely can't stand Millwall. Charismatic. That's the word. Thank you very much, Bandy. But then he said that, when his players come back, from injury stuff, it were a big group back in training. And he's worked. I think he's loved it this last week or so with them, because he's. I think this is the first time he's actually been able to take a training session with transfer window closed, so he knows exactly who he's got to work with, exactly who he's got, who are there now, and he don't have to worry about players leaving now until January. So he's got. I think that'll be a big relief on him. I said this in the chat on Finn. I said any other man with what's happened Leeds United since relegation would have walked away. I says, but Farkas stood up, and he were being counted. And I think that tells me what sort of a man he is, and that can only bode well for Leeds United Football Club and the Leeds United players, what it materialises on the pitch. Wally World, you know how much it means. Yes, Bandy. Front four will be interested. Well, can I just show you something, guys? I just want to show you something, right? I took a screenshot, on my phone, of someone put a comment in, and I want to show it. If I'm I take it I'm allowed to do this, and I won't get told off for doing this. But I just want to show you something. It's a screenshot of the chat, and here we go. Right. So this is the bit I want to show you. It's here. It's right. Pocket trumpeter V2. Perot was a 9 for Swansea, but he was a false 9. He was dropping deep with other players running ahead to occupy the last line. Then you over here says Perot is a Kane style 9. Comes deep, links the play, might have a shot on goal from the edge of the box, and is able to get into the box for tappings. And it's, Kevin says Farker knows what he's doing at this level. Be patient with him. So that's so he does play as a 9, but as a false 9, if that makes sense. So and he does. When we've all been saying it past 2 games, he's been dropping deep. We don't like swap Rutter over for Perot. Maybe Perot does like to drop deep to get the ball and then go forward. A bit like what all you over here says. Perot is a Kane style 9. Comes deep, links up play, might have a shot. You know what I mean? So I'm not going to lie to you. I'm not going to sit here and say I know everything about Joe Perot, because I don't. You know what I mean? I know he scored goals last season and he got assists, but that's all I can tell you about him, because I've said this before. When Leeds United are in Premiership, I don't watch Championship games. When Leeds United tend to be in Championship, I tend not to watch as many Premier League games. I just concentrate on the league, really, what Leeds United are in. So I don't know a lot about him, and I don't come on here confessing to say that I know everything about him, because I don't. But but you are right, Mally. Front four's going to be interesting. Mally says, I don't even know what a false 9 is. I hear that, Mally. I do. I hear that. Yeah, I hear that. What is it? He's either a 9 or he isn't, in it. You know what I mean? I don't think there's a. I don't even know if there is such. Yeah, I hear the term. What a lot of YouTubers use the word false 9, but I think you're either a 9 or you're not. You know what I mean? And this is why I don't confess to know everything about him, because I'm not going to sit here and lie to you all. I'll never do that to you. Anyway, getting back to what he said, right? He spoke respectively. Of regarding Gary Abbott. He spoke. Saying that he's got experience at this level and stuff and everything else, and that Farker knows what this game means to Leeds United fans and to Millwall fans. He knows the rivalry, but all he can do really is make sure that the players have stay focused, play the game, and don't play the don't play the occasion, play the game and not the occasion, if that makes sense. So hopefully we've now that he's had a bit of time working with these players, I do think we're going to see a new Leeds United number 9. Here, Big Mallet. Is a false 9 a 10? I don't know, Mallet. I don't know. I mean, big sound of it, yeah. I think that's what they're saying. The false 9 is a 10, isn't it? But I think if then people are right by saying, and there was a Swansea fan in there, and I should have took the screenshot of it. But even there says that you don't, you clearly haven't watched Swansea, because you don't know what his current position, what his position really is. And I thought that were interesting, if I'm honest. I really did. Right, where am I? Next page, notes, next page. Right. He got asked about the midfield and the midfield developing, and he says it's vital that we added squad depth. You can't rely on Ampadu and Gray to play, 50 plus games, including cup competitions. It was important that we have Kamara. He said that we don't have a natural number 10. He's confident that we've got enough quality and he's happy with the squad, but he says that we don't have an actual number 10. So is he? You know what I'm saying? We either have a number 10 or we don't. So Perot. What he's saying that is Perot's not a number 10, because he's saying he's not. We don't have a natural number 10. He said that he's happy with his squad. He said that Rutter's been working hard. Working. It's all spoke to Rutter about working hard in training. It's not all about scoring goals. It's about what you. It's about being a teammate. And what you do. He he also said though that we missed too many chances in the last game, which were the Sheffield Wednesday game, one at Ellen Road. Afternoon in Kate. Hope you're doing well, my friend. Hope you and family are good. Uh, yeah, Bandy says, Big Mally, maybe we could have a false goalkeeper. Oliver laughing his head off. Hiya, Shelley, love, hope you're doing well. Hi, guys. Good that Spencer's likely to be out. Yeah, but look, do you know what the problem is, right? We get in this shiny new toy, and then we're right early enough. Now I get it that Erling hasn't been. I think Erling's lost something from his game. I think he's lost that edge. I think he's lost the eye. I think he loses concentration. He's brilliant going forward. Very very forgetful when it comes to defending. And I get what you're saying, Shelley, but hopefully we've got enough just to get through it, just to get on with it. You know what I mean? I mean, of course, yeah, apparently though, it's only it's what did he say? He only took a little knock. He took a knock, right? Which is so he's a major doubt for Millwall. So hopefully he'll be back after the Millwall game. So let's just hope and pray that we've got enough to get through the Millwall game. Um, Mind you, we did play a false manager all last season. uh, that's a bit harsh, my bandy, but it made me laugh. It did make me laugh. Late to the party, watching on Leeds. What are you doing, my mate? How are you doing? Hope you're doing well. Hope you and that lovely wife and kids doing brilliant. Hope they're doing well, mate. I love Erling, but his legs have just gotten old. I agree, Shelley. I think it it was 3 years ago, 2 years ago when he were back when he were last hit championship. 2 years on your legs. I mean, trust me, I know. Trust me, your legs go. Don't worry, Shelley. It's a long season. Yeah, we need to look. It's going to be one game at a time, isn't it, guys? It's going to be one game at a time. So where did I get to? Right, missed too many chances. Right, then the highlight of that press conference for me were about Archie Gray, and he said that he's got outstanding data. Um, got a minor. He missed the England games because he got a minor injury, and he didn't want to. He thinks that Archie Gray playing first team football and then at youth level is a bit too much for him. He gave him a few days off, but then he got that. Now he's back in training. He says there's a lot of hype around Archie Gray, so it's beneficial that the coaches keep him down to earth, and I agree with that. I totally agree to that. Where am I? Where am I? Where am I? Yes, you're right. I am sure Spence will have plenty of game time. I'm sure he will, Shelley, and I'm looking forward to seeing him. I'm looking forward to seeing Spence, Roden, Pascal, and who would you have at left back? You've got to go. You'd have to go either Yelder or Byron, wouldn't you? But it looks like Firpo's going to be back very very soon. So I don't know how you all feel about that. What concerned me is that he mentioned Joffrey as a number 10. He also said Pervader as well, didn't he, Malik? He also mentioned Pervader as well. Now, then he said about, Man City don't play with a natural number 10, didn't he? He said that as well. Thank you for reminding me. Much appreciated. Shackleton is Shackleton if there is no one else. Well, yeah. But the talk is, Gary, the talk is, mate, that is it might be Jamie Shackleton might be getting a new contract. Now I don't know how people feel about that, but I don't I don't I think we should wait till the end of the season before we start discussing what do you call it, contracts extensions. Right, Gary, I've just sent you something on the WhatsApp if you're available, mate. But yeah, so that basically that wraps up the press conference really. Now I want to go into the preview of the Millwall game. Now look, there's 1 point separating us and us. Hang on a minute. Let me just get this right. I think there's 1 point separating us and Millwall, isn't there? Yeah. Um, we're on 6 points. They're on 7. Millwall's results haven't been fantastic, if I'm honest. So they beat Middlesbrough 1-0, who were rock bottom. They're at bottom of Championship, aren't they, Middlesbrough? Let me just double check that. Yeah. So they beat the bottom of the table Middlesbrough 1-0. They lost 1-0 to Bristol City at home. They lost 3-1 away to Norwich. They won Millwall 1-0. Sorry, Millwall won 1-0 against Stoke at home. They got a 1-1 draw with Birmingham. So that's their results. So it's been a mixed bag, really. But you know, I'm sure. Which game did I watch? What were on Sky Sports regarding? It was the Norwich game. It was a Norwich game. It was on my birthday. I watched that game. And I'll be really honest with you, Millwall were very poor in that game. Now that's the only game I've seen Norwich play. Millwall play, sorry, and they were very poor. And Norwich should have scored 5 or 6 on that day, if I'm honest. Millwall's defence is very, very shaky. Um, you know, they're not the threat that they used to be. And if we go down there and play our A game, I think we could actually get a win. I really do, and I think we need a win, guys. I really do think we need a win. I think the thing is, um, we can't afford to see played 6 games, only won one. Do you know what I mean? It won't look good. Even if we draw that game, I don't think it's enough. I really don't. You know, and it's going to be. You're gonna have to have Ailing on. You're gonna have to have Ailing on right, aren't you? So Ailing's going to be up right back. Yeah, if you want, Gary, you can do, mate. Yeah, if you want, mate, jump on. Um, if you want to come on, mate. Yeah, of course you can. Yeah, no worries, mate. No worries at all. I hope so. I've always rated him. What, Jamie Shackleton? Yeah. Adam Pope also kept notion going for Perot at number 10. In his Christian Tafaka. But people are saying that it's a false number 9, Shelley, if you read some comments above, Malik says you don't even know what a false number 9 is. And people are saying that it's more like a Kane player where he drops deep to get the ball, get involved, give and go, and get shots away on box and stuff. I think the only thing I'm going to say about Perot, and I don't want anyone to get to be offended by this, but apart from last season, his numbers and his stats, that was his best season as a professional footballer. Honestly, if you look at his stats from before, they aren't that impressive like the one last season. So I'm hoping he can mirror that season to what he had at Swansea to now as a Leeds United player. I hope he can bring them goals and them assists to Leeds United, because I think that he's going to be the difference. I really do. He's going to be the difference if we get promoted, or if we stay in the league. That's what I personally think. And I also think adding Kamara to the midfield is a massive. It's a massive coup for Leeds United. And I know Big Mal is a big fan of Kamara, and I like Kamara because he's got pedigree experience, hasn't he come from ranks of Arsenal, so I've got all faith in world in Kamara. Look, our players we brought in, The only player I don't know a lot about, and is Gurev. I don't know a lot about him, if I'm really honest with you. But Ampadu, really happy with. He's been our best player this season, by a country mile. He stands out. Even I can see that. Archie Gray's been fantastic next to him, but the players we've brought in, Rodon's done well at the back. Jed Spence, to be fair, we don't. I won't say how good he is after seeing him for a cameo of 5 minutes, but what I will say is he played really, really well at Forest before he went to Tottenham in Championship. So the Championship's definitely his level. And Sam Byram. I mean, yeah, he's injured again, and I get it, but he knows Leeds United, and he knows this league, and he knows how Daniel Farker operates. So I'm happy with him too. Really am. Big Malik says my personal choice would be Nonto on the left, Rutter on the right, and Somerville behind. Somerville behind Rutter. So this false business. Yeah, yeah. Millwall is the first game of the rest of the season, and now we know our full committed squad. I'm confident we can start winning. Yeah, it's a brand new. It's you're spot on, Shelley. I mean, we had drama on the last minutes of deadline day, didn't we? Do you know what I mean? Losing a player. I think Farker went to bed probably slept for about 2 days after that transfer window anyway. But look, Farker now knows, you're spot on, Shelley. Farker now knows who he's got to work with and everything else. So, yeah, happy days. Afternoon, Michael. Hope you're doing well, mate. Hope you and family are good. I'm not sure what a false nine is either. Oh, Somerville behind Perot. Yeah, I think I like Somerville's energy, Mally. I like his energy. It's got a bit of pace about him as well, and Somerville. I like his energy. Gurev and Anthony are the unknown quantities. Yeah. Don't forget about Jaden Anthony as well. But we've all agreed this, haven't we? We've all agreed this that Jaden Anthony is. I think we've got the better deal, especially in this league. I think Jaden Anthony in the Championship is better than Sinistera in the Championship. I still rate Sinistera though, guys. I really do. I think Sinistera's going to do well at Bournemouth. I do, and I hate to say it because I don't like what he's done to us. But I like to try and be honest. I think some of the little. I think Cine, if he stays fit, he'll be absolutely fine. Do you know what I mean? I've got here we go. Look, I've got the ideal partner that Mally's injured, so this is my substitute. How are we doing, Gary?
Bit impromptu. Just let me know, chat. If this audio's a little bit off, let me know because
I like
I'm
it.
now.
It sounds really good. There's
Yeah.
no crackling.
No crackling. Yeah, we don't hear the crackling, but it's the people in the YouTube end app that hear it. So yeah, I mean, in the videos, it turned out all right this week. So I don't know what it is. Maybe the cable's a bit faulty. Possibly the internet connection's a bit faulty. Chat, let us know if it's a little bit off. So Stu, looks like Farker's got a bit of stuff to report. I haven't seen the press conferences yet. In fact, I only got a notification just as it had finished from YouTube, which is a bit.
Yeah, I've been getting that a lot lately, and it's getting really annoying.
A bit disappointed. The whole thing is over before you even get the notification. So I think the club need to really start scheduling these things in a bit further in advance. I haven't seen any notification about time that it starts, etc. But
I'll start sending you a link through so that way you can see what time it starts.
Yeah, it's a bit disappointing, really. I mean, you subscribe to the club and you hope that you get a notification or something that before it starts. But I think the club probably need to schedule that in a bit ahead of time because sometimes YouTube can be a bit slack with the notification. So, what do you know, Stu? We've got an injury now. Is that correct?
Yeah, unfortunately, Jed Spencer's took some personal time off, come
Mm,
back to training and took a knock. So he's going to be a major doubt for Millwall. He
mm,
didn't say anything past Millwall though, which he said the Millwall game. So I'm
yeah,
assuming it's just that one game.
yeah.
Michael says, Stu, the problem for Leeds is this season is that they will be everyone's cup final. Opposing teams will raise their game and concentration levels in order to take Leeds scalp. May hinder Leeds promotion.
Yeah, I think we're going to be a lot of teams cup final this year, Stu. To be honest with you, and we said that last after that Wednesday game that especially at home we're going to be facing a lot of teams who are going to play this what they call quote unquote low block or very defensive style of football. And we saw on the timeline, didn't we, in the video that the threat level was virtually all Leeds, wasn't it? That Leeds had, you know, a great portion of that game in terms of possession and controlling of the match and stuff like that. But it just failed to find the end product, and I think
Well,
this
he
is the
said that
thing,
we
isn't it?
missed a lot of chances. He did say that we missed a lot of chances in this last game.
Yeah, yeah, it's really disappointing. I mean, I think you can't blame Pirot if he's been told that he wants him to play a bit deeper. For whatever reason, he's done that. But I think we sort of thought that perhaps Farker's just experimented a little bit, knowing that or assuming that Wednesday are unlikely to score at Elland Road. And that he knows they've probably come to get a point anyway. See how it is defensively and stuff. But I mean, I've had a look at a couple of other streamers this week. Had a look at Just Joe, for example, and he's absolutely convinced that because it's a London team, we're not going to travel well. But I honestly think the stats are all
We better.
pointing. Yeah, they're all pointing to a Leeds win. I mean, they haven't scored more than one goal in any of the games, haven't Millwall? Um, which is I think in one game they failed to score, and then every other game they managed just one goal.
Yeah,
Seems to be a bit of a when I had a look at it. There is a uh, on the what I call the dartboard chart. One of the features is long ball. So we're going to have to watch for that in case they've got anybody with any pace. They're going to be playing long balls in behind, hoping to get a runner on it, but a bit Wimbledon style, from the olden days, a good old fashioned punt up the pitch and chase. And I think that's what we can expect from Millwall in this match. I don't think they're going to be putting us under too much threat, and I think they're going to be probably trying to anything they can to stop us from playing.
agree.
And advancing up the pitch. I mean, that's my opinion on it. But I think, like anything else, if we get a goal fairly early doors, it puts all the emphasis on them then, and that'll play right
Yeah,
into our hands. That we'll then start be able to pick up a bit of confidence, start playing balls in behind, getting Nonto, Somerville involved, and causing them damage down either flank. But I think from what I remember of that Wednesday game, we spent a lot of time going down the left hand side, and I'm just wondering why weren't we trying down the right hand sides as so much? Is there something there that we don't know about, or is Somerville just not the favoured target when we're going forward, and they're trying to put too much emphasis on Nonto? So a lot to think about, I think. Let's have a
yeah.
little
Well, I
look
just
at.
want to share my screen. I just want to remind everybody about the stats from Sheffield Wednesday game.
Yeah.
Um, Now I'll zoom it in so people can see it a bit better. Right, yeah, fair enough. We only had 4 shots on goal, right? But
Mm,
we had 16 shots in that game, Gary.
yeah.
You know what I mean? So it wasn't, it didn't feel like we had 16 shots in the game when we did the watch along.
No, it
Well,
didn't.
if we can convert two of them, if we have 16 shots against Millwall and convert two of them, I think
Yeah,
that'll be enough to win the game. I really do.
yeah,
Like you says, Millwall struggle to score one goal, never mind two and three.
yeah.
You know,
Well, I'm.
so
Go on, buddy.
right. So what about this? What Shelley says? I would have Anthony at the left. Anthony at left. Somerville and Somerville and Nonso. Somerville and Nonso right behind Perot. So that'll be Anthony on left. Right. So she'd have Anthony on left, Somerville on right, and Nonso in behind Perot. Would that work?
Um, I'm not so sure about who you're playing as your number 10 though. There, you playing Somerville as the number 10. Well, yeah, I assume so. That's what she's getting at, right?
Yeah.
I don't. I mean, I don't think that would work. I don't see Somerville playing that number 10 role. To be honest with you, but you see, it's one of those things. We need someone who's good at threading a pass, someone who's got a bit of vision on the ball, who can pick out a pass, pick a runner,
Who would you say that is?
who's able to play balls in behind. Well, I mean, I said in my video this week, it might be worth rolling the dice and putting Archie Gray in that kind of role for his
Right.
passing ability, or possibly shoving Ampadu up there a little bit more, and probably getting him playing a bit more of an attacking role, and then filling in with whatever we've got in terms of space available. But Farker knows this league inside out. He knows Millwall inside out. He'll know the players that they have at the disposal, and I can't say, Stu, that I'm impressed by anything I've seen from Millwall this season. Although they've got 2 wins,
I've only watched them.
yeah, I watched the highlights, but you see, our problem is there. We've literally got shots on target to shots ratio, and it's 25%.
Yeah.
And that's really not that great, is it, compared to the Ipswich match, which was a complete ding donger of a battle, because they came at us and we went at them, and that kind of played into our hands. But you see, I can't see Millwall trying that with us. I think they're gonna, they're gonna sit deep. They're gonna try and keep it tight, stop us from playing. And I think they're going to try and do a Sheffield Wednesday on us and try and pick up. For them, a point will be a big point, and for us, a point isn't enough. If we're to be taken seriously, as everybody keeps saying, as a potentially championship winning side, we've got to be going down there with the frame of mind that we're going to go and get 3 points, and everything else. The history of going to London, the previous games at Millwall, and all this other stuff. Try and shield the players from that, because it's all of that stuff's in the past. We can't fix that now, and there has to be a turning point for Leeds United in London. And this could be it. For us, there are only, I think, 2 or 3 teams in London, so it's no big deal anyway. But we sure as heck would like to go down there and come away with 3 points. It's going to be another hostile, probably the most hostile ground I think that we'll visit this season. You can expect there's going to be a bit of intimidation. It's going to be quite a fierce atmosphere, I think, when we're there. And let's just hope that that the players can rise above all of that. Focus on the football, let the football do the talking, and we get out of there with 3 points, and everybody goes home safe and happy. And I think that's honestly what's going to happen, Stu. I think if we get an early goal, they could be on the end of a real damaging football match for them in terms of result and stuff. So, I'm feeling. I'm not even going to say I'm quietly confident. I'm really confident about this match that. I've seen enough of Millwall I really think we can give them a bit of a pacing. But I thought that against Sheffield Wednesday, and boy, oh boy, were I wrong. I mean, my dad thought we were going to stick six past Sheffield Wednesday. I thought four, and but
I thought we were going to get a couple at least.
I think at the beginning of that match, I can't think of anybody who said, and I heard a lot of predictions, and I can't even think I saw one prediction that said, it's got 0-0 written all over this Yorkshire derby, da 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 da. Nobody had that as a prediction. Nobody had, and not even the great Harmonie, in all her wisdom, probably had that as a 0-0.
No, she didn't.
Especially with her recent record at the bookies. I think she lost a few quid there. I think so. Yeah, let's hope that we're all right.
Right. Yeah, I'm an unknown quantity, Mally. Hey, up chops, hiya, brother Kieran. How are you doing? Michael says, good afternoon, Gary.
Yeah, good afternoon, everybody. Good afternoon, Michael.
Big Mally says, hey up, Geezer, you're massive. And Michael says, Gary, do you ever get back to the UK? Or is Southeast Asia your home now?
Good question. I try and get home every 6 months, and it depends on during COVID it were a total no. I just leave it on that one, Stu. But the reason for that was because when we got to the UK, we had 2 weeks quarantine, and then when we got back here, we had 2 weeks quarantine. So that literally meant 1 month of quarantining. So it was just like, forget it. We'll just wait. But the price of an airline ticket, since all of this COVID stuff's blown over, it's rocketed. It's literally gone through the roof for us. So we try and get home as and when we can. It used to be pretty reasonable. Now it's not reasonable anymore. I can tell you.
So even to put the prices up then.
Airlines, oh yeah. I mean, it used to be sort of. I mean, this Christmas. Let's take Christmas for example. It used to be maybe 700-800 quid, and now you're talking 12-30 up to 1,500 for Christmas trip home. So yeah, they're all. Everybody's milking these crises for it. I mean, we talked about that off air the other day, didn't we? But everybody's cashing in on the crisis. So they're all manufactured crises. I mean, my dad were on about. I'm not going to go too much, but he were on about COVID the other day, and I'm like, I thought all of that stuff had blown over and nobody cares anymore. But there's a lot. Let's keep that all off air, Stu. Focus on the football. But yeah, the answer is the short answer is I'll be trying to get home for Christmas again. If you look through my YouTube shorts, you'll see that I was home between June and July, and I made a couple of videos because I went down to Elland Road because the rumours were rife that we were going to sign Farker at that point, and he's going to be at Elland Road and dad. So I went down. Are we going to see him? Is he going to pop out of that door any second? The rumour mill was going crazy. Oh, they had the big Mercedes van out and la 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 la. And I mean, he wasn't even in the country at all. But by the time I left, then they announced it. That I flew back here and they announced it, and that were it. So yeah, I missed out on that one. And then, of course, winter time, I managed to get a corporate ticket to, I think, the 28th of December last year. It was Leeds v Man City. So yeah, you look through my YouTube shorts on there. There's, or it might even be in shorts playlist. I kind of need to get that tidied up. So yeah, I'll try and tidy that up. But yeah, of course, try and get home every 6 months. If possible. I'll be touching wood.
Michael says it's Byram changing Fair Post for the weekend. It's only fair, Michael. I think Byram and James are back in training now, mate. So hopefully they'll be back. Shelley says, what's your lineup for Sunday, guys? I have Meslier, Shackleton at left back, Stroik Road and Ailing at right back. Kamara Ampadu. Yeah, I like that partnership. Kamara Ampadu. Anthony Somerville Nonso Peru.
I mean, that's as good as anything, isn't it? I
It,
don't
isn't it? Yeah.
see. I don't see anything any different from that. It's a very strong, well balanced lineup. I think it's the old question mark about Ailing, isn't it? I mean, if Spence is injured, it's going to be Ailing as first choice, isn't it? There, I think.
Yeah.
But I keep seeing this stat around, Stu, that no other player's been dribbled past more times than Luke Ayling this season, and it's 13 is the number that
Wow.
is the number of times that Ayling's been dribbled past, and there's nobody ahead of him. So, you know, I caught up into this stream, and you were talking about his legs and stuff like that, getting back. Perhaps he's just not able to do it like he once was, and age is a thing. You know, you get over your 30s, and um, you and I know because we're of a certain age, and I'm sure a few of our viewers know that things that don't operate quite quite the way they did in the 20s. You know what I mean? So you just, especially with your legs and running and stuff, it's just hard work, hard graft for him. So
Everything's hard graft, but we won't go into that, Gary. This is a friendly
no,
channel. We won't go
we're
into
we're a
that.
friendly channel. We are a friendly channel.
Mike and Willie, hope you're doing well, mate. Nice of you to join us. Good afternoon, team. You are broadcasting loud and clear. Thank you, Willie.
Thanks for that,
Shelley
Willie.
says only purple out of these three, Michael, Byram and James are fit. Thank you, Shelley. Don't underestimate Millwall and Sheffield Wednesday lost all their matches before Leeds, but went to a low block, raised their game and concentration levels. Millwall will do the same. You see, it ain't just us who struggle against lower blocks. Premier League teams struggle against slow blocks.
Mm.
It must be one of the hardest. What's the word I'm looking for, Gary? When you set up your players and against low blocks, and it must be one of the hardest um, drills to do in training.
Well, we kind of tried doing it against Man City at the Etihad, didn't we? Because we all expected that we'd go there and get absolutely pumped, and I think we ended up losing that 2-1, didn't we, when we were at the Etihad last season? But I mean,
Yeah.
as for this season, all these other teams are expecting us to take the game to them. But they have a lad up front there, Norwich City. Their striker, I just forget his name. Curly haired lad.
It's not Sargent, is it?
Sargent, yeah, and I'll tell you, he had a really good game against Millwall. Really, really threatening player. So, and I think someone like Norwich they're not going to be doing that kind of thing to us. I think you're probably going to be looking at maybe a handful of teams who are probably thinking, they can go toe to toe with us. And you're probably looking at, your top six are probably going to be thinking, we fancy having a game of football against Leeds, and we're not going to bother with any of this low block nonsense, and it's going to be all out entertainment, I think. But it could go anywhere. Can this game? Can't it? It could be a 0-0. We might grind a 1-0 victory out, or we might suffer from a 1-0 loss. Nobody knows. And that's the excitement. But from what I've seen, I think they probably are going to do that. Are they going to go? Are they going to have a go at us, Millwall? I don't think they are. And I think they seem quite a weak. They seem physically. They seem quite a lot weaker side than probably what we are. They probably don't have anything like the intensity levels that we can have. And especially if we could try and catch them out, suck them out of their, half, and get them playing up the pitch a little bit, open up a bit of space between back four and goalkeeper, we've got every chance. I think every chance of getting a goal.
Out of all the teams we've played, the team who played the best football were Ipswich, and we beat them.
Yeah.
That says it all, doesn't it? That says it all, doesn't it? That you can beat a team who come at you, but teams who seem to have low blocks, like Birmingham and stuff like that, we really struggle. We struggle,
Well,
and
I mean that result flattered them, didn't it? Because they got 2 goals in extra time, and
yeah, yeah, we give it.
one of them were an own goal anyway. So I mean that result flattered them as a team, but as an opponent, I wouldn't say
Mm,
it was a good. They played good football, but what they did do is they didn't. They tried to go toe to toe with us, I think, and we were by far, we were a lot stronger than them on the day, and we were a lot better than them. But they'd been on an extended run of games without a loss, so it just shows that if when we play, it's these low block oppositions that we're gonna struggle against. I think just trying to work out what's the best way to get in behind them, and create some clear opportunities for Pirot or for whoever, And um, I think we could just sit off a little bit, just sit deep, try and get them out, try and get them coming at us a little bit, and then hopefully we can just hit them with some quick passing, and I think we'll be all right. The kind of football that Chelsea used to play. I think that's what we're going to have to do. Stu, I think it's going to be it could be a tough match, but like I say, I think that's probably how it's going to be. But if we get a first goal, I think then it'll be curtains for Millwall. I think we'll put them to the sword pretty quickly after that
Yeah, I
if we
agree.
get a
I
first
agree with
goal.
that. Can I just ask
Okay.
you a quick question, Gary? And I don't think I've
Aye.
asked you this. I have. I apologise.
No, no.
Right. We, the situation regarding Jaden Anthony and Sinistera,
Yeah.
right? In your heart of hearts, have we come off the better?
We
Or
certainly haven't we haven't come off any worse, have we? And from the stats that I've seen, I think we're going to
yeah,
get more. We're going to get more game time out of Anthony. I think,
yeah, yeah,
unless
yeah.
there's a
I
unless
agree
there's
with that.
a really bad injury, um, we'll get more game time out of him. I think he's a very similar type of player, and he's probably got slightly ahead of Cine in the stats side department. That he's got way more experience than Cine in English football, hasn't he? So um, I think that we've come off way better uh, than he's gone to Bournemouth, hasn't he? Is that right?
Yeah, yeah. It was a straight
Yeah,
swap, wasn't it? One swap, wasn't it?
straight swap. I mean, from their point of view, they must when they find out how Prodi is to injury, they'll be kicking themselves.
I don't
Simple
understand
as
why they
that.
didn't do this research before they did that deal. Actually,
Oh,
some of those.
Bournemouth.
Yeah, I'm surprised they didn't do their homework properly because I would have thought you keep the player who's played more games, and they were playing. He were playing for Anthony. Were playing for Bournemouth. He made 3 Premier League starts this season, so it's not
Yeah,
like he won't play in a row. He were actually in their team. This is why I found it baffling. Some of them will
yeah,
be my number 10. That's what Shelley says. Michael Brown says the only match Leeds had any joy was Ipswich, who didn't operate a low block and came at Leeds, which opened up space for our
mm,
attackers on a counter attack. Millwall will raise their game against Leeds. I think all teams will, Michael. I think you said that earlier on, and I think you're right.
yeah.
Um,
I'll just
Lockie
share.
Leeds did an
Oh,
analysis of Sheffield Wednesday match and showed how we didn't utilise the pockets of space when playing against such a low block. Yeah, I'm
yeah.
gonna. I like Lockie. I think he's good at what he does. Shelley, I like him a lot.
Can I
Go
just
on.
stop you there, Stu? Sorry.
Yeah, question.
Yeah, I just say I'm pulling up some stats on Anthony, and he was in the previous season. I think it's in top 20% for assists, top
Right.
20% for top 17% for carries, so that's dribbles and things like that, carrying the ball forward. Top 24% for, and that was these are EPL stats. Top 24% for shots as well. Is I think the thing with him is his recoveries are probably a lot higher than Sinistera. I mean, I don't think, if I remember rightly, I can't remember Sinistera ever saying about Sinistera, oh yeah, that was good running back, good tracking back, and good tackling from Cine.
It was more going forward one.
So he's very highly rated in that context, and his passing range is top 30%, and that's in EPL. In the previous season, but in the season before that, in the season before the 21-22 season, he had 8 goals, 7 assists, and which isn't too bad for a left winger, isn't he? Yeah, left winger. So 21-22. But there, Stuart, in that particular season, because it was championship, he was in the top 4% for passes, top 10% for assists, top 17% for shots, and top 9% for carrying the ball forward, etc. So, I mean, I could show heat maps and just talk a little bit about the player that we've signed here, if you want. I'll just see. Oh, hold on a minute. Where have I gone? Oh, I'm in the wrong screen. Hold on a second there. So yeah, these are the stats here that we can see. 21-22. SPR 40. He played a lot of minutes during that particular season. There's the dribbles, successful dribbles, 46. All of his 8 goals were non-penalty goals, and he had XG 7.38. So his expected threat level was very, very high in that level of football. So, I personally think we've got a really, really good player here, and I can't wait to see more of him. But what does that do to Nonto? How does that affect Nonto? It's another option for Farker. Is he going to try and utilise Nonto somewhere else? Or is he gonna try and play Anthony up alongside Pirro, or as a number 10? A lot of different options are available to Farker. So, let's just hope that we get a bit of rotation out of him, and we get to see something promising. But overall, I think that is a really, really good signing for us. Good bit of business, and there you go. But if you look at that, I mean, it's smart ranking. That's the XA. That's the expected assists. But I think if we said the carries, I don't know if that changes it at all, does it? Yeah. So it's just loading that stat up there. 19th in that particular season. And look who is just slightly below Stu. Can you see that? The company that it was below that year? Eze, Maddison, Phil Foden, Fraser. So, I mean, it's not, it's certainly got potential for us this season. It's slightly below Jack Harrison at that importance as well. So, yeah, a lot of different options there. I mean, I don't even know who's that. That can't be Brendan Aronson, but that Brendan Aronson wasn't playing for us then, was he? No, it wasn't. So I don't know. Good player for us. Enough said about Brendan Aronson. I'm not going to go there. But yeah, overall, really good signing for us. Good bit of business. I think we've got the better end of the deal by far. So yeah.
Good. Right, just catch up with some comments. Big Mally says, Regarding Sheffield Wednesday, it might have been that Farker thought that the right side was their weakness rather than our strength.
Yeah, possibly.
Michael says all the teams Leeds have played apart from Ipswich, Cardiff, Birmingham, West Brom, and Sheffield Wednesday have all operated a low block. It's a blueprint for other teams to do the same.
Yeah.
Shelley says, "I am just recuperating from COVID. I hope you're feeling much better, Shelley. Love, it's been a
Mm,
it's been rough this time, to be honest. Yeah,
mm,
it's still out there, isn't it? It's still out there. You could also have Byram and or Shacks at right back and the other at left back if Ayling's not up to it. I agree, Gary. We need to move the ball quickly up the pitch, starting with decent distribution from Meslier. How
yeah.
do you think Meslier? Sorry, but I'll get back to your comment, Mally. I'll keep that on screen. Meslier, has he improved his ball distribution, Gary?
Well, it's interesting because it's not. It's not the only the distribution that's been the problem for Melia, is it? It's a whole range of things in that last season. His positioning,
Mm.
um, uh, and overall, he had a very poor season for us. In fact, it just looked like, to me like a player who just didn't want to be there.
Yeah,
And I'd have been happy to see the back of him, to be honest with you, thinking that if he doesn't want to play for us, I understand that. I get it. He's getting all this interest from France. Get him out the door. If you don't want to be there, get him out the door. Pack your bags and off you go. But uh, a number of people have said that he's having a much better season for us. Is this for us? Is that for us? He's returning to his old self. Um, the distribution thing, Stu, it's important, and probably not many people pay much attention to it or enough attention to it that when we're looking at distribution and stuff like that. I mean, I am trying frantically just to get some stats up, just to have a look and see, because goalkeepers are not something I've looked at on this
right.
yet. As soon as I get those up, we can have a look and just see what Ilian, is it? Ilian, is that
Yeah.
right?
I'll read comments where you're getting through your stats. Big
Go ahead,
Malik
yeah.
says maybe we should play a low block to confuse the opposition. That would confuse them. Big Malik, haha. Both teams playing low block and leave the ball at the centre spot for 90 minutes. I can't see Leeds investing in a left back in the January window when you already have Byram, Fairport, and Shackleton who can all operate in that position. I agree. I totally agree, and Big Mally's agreeing with Shelley. Yeldy could play at left back as well. He could. He could.
Yeah.
I won't, I won't put Strike at left back again. I think you put Strike at left back, you're going to damage his confidence. And we can't afford to have Strike confidence damaged again this season. Definitely not.
It's not. I mean, it's not the type of player, the type of shape for a left back. When I say a type of shape, I don't see um, how he's going to be beneficial to us in that kind of range. But Ilya Melier this season, 63.16% of shots he's saved. He's played 450 minutes. Goals prevented minus 0.61. Could have done a bit better. Accurate long balls 16. But interestingly, Stu, and I mean, I think this is the ball. When we look at the heat map here, it indicates that it's not often he's playing balls over the halfway line.
Right.
In fact, there's zero heat over the halfway line in the opponent's half from Ilian Melier. Whether that indeed is true or not, I don't know. But I'll certainly have a look at that. It says that his career highlight. We don't need to talk about that one. It's just a load of blub. to be honest with you. But we'll go on to advanced stats, and I'll show you that one. Um, it, it's disappointing, Stu. I mean, it's the professionalism thing again, isn't it? Even if you don't want to be somewhere, you still got to go out there, put shift in, try your best, and make yourself attractive to teams that might be looking for a goalkeeper, etc. And making sure that obviously you're not damaging your own reputation. And I think that's part of the thing. Short passes, yeah, of course we know that we're spending a lot of time doing the playing out from the back. It's something that you and I absolutely despise all the time. As often as what we do, and I think against a team like Millwall, if an occasion does occur the way you think, well, that they are a little bit advanced up the pitch here, just try and pump one in over the top of them and get a runner onto it. Is that really good? Is that or that should be something that we should be looking at? We shouldn't always try and. I think my point is we shouldn't be as predictable as what we are at times. This whole playing out from the back thing, it drives us to despair, doesn't it?
Look, I know a lot of teams do it. A lot of teams do it, but there's a time and place to do it. I think personally. Mally says that you need to watch his interview. Gary may answer your questions. I'll send Gary link so he can have a watch of it. Mally. Heingan watched it back for a bit. False 9 example comes and gets lays off. Say wide, it moves the opposition around to cover and creates more space in the area. Just one example. So that's what a false 9 does, Malk.
Statistically, best keeper at the minute the keeper with the best stats is the Plymouth Argyle keeper. By the look of this, is that right? Yeah, I'll just go back and we'll have a look at that. Is that right? It's somebody called Hazard. Let's have a look. That's a smart goal ranking? Yeah, so this one's ranked quite a bit higher than the rest of them at the moment, based on perhaps passing and overall goalkeeping skills and stuff. Goals prevented 2.14, 79% of shots he's saved. Seems to be a really good keeper, this guy. Yeah, Connor Hazard, his name is. So really, all right, he's not doing too bad for us, but I'd like to see more variety from him. Like you say, long throws, kicks up the pitch, better distribution, etc. I think this guy, that's probably if Plymouth are having any success. Where are Plymouth in table, Stu? Do you know? Just off the top of your head.
I've got table on my screen now. So Plymouth are Plymouth are 10th.
10th, yeah. This keeper's the number one performing keeper in the league at the minute. So in terms of overall stats, so could Leeds go in for him? Offload Meslier? I don't know. I'm not. I can say that my opinion of Mellier's gone down over the last definitely since January. Well, since January, and I think the worst one was that Liverpool game, that Liverpool game and Palace game. But the real standout for me was that game against Everton,
where they were out of position.
Leighton Baines.
It was Coleman, wasn't it?
Was it Baines or Coleman? I thought it was Baines.
He couldn't believe his luck, could he?
No, I mean he just hit and hope. There's literally nobody around. Just go. I mean, if you want, go back and have a look. I made a YouTube short at the time, and I was like, "What the hell is he doing there?" And his position, to get beat at the near post at that point in that manner, and I thought, hang on a minute, his positioning is way out here, and then that makes you question his previous games and look at his positioning for other goals conceded. And actually, when you look at it, you sat there and you're thinking, who the hell's coaching this guy? You know,
Yeah.
and
Well,
and and is there anybody coaching him, or is he? You know, is he mentally? Because I mean, you don't want to say that the summer. You know, as we
yeah, I know
remember with the Liverpool keeper, was it? What's his name?
Carrios,
Carrius.
Carrios, yeah.
Had a knock on the head. You know, nearly ends his career, kind of thing. Um, and you just wonder is Melier suffering from that? Has he had some sort of uh,
I
brain injury
just, I,
like
I
that?
just, I
That
put it down to
affected his
lack of
judgment and
concentration.
stuff.
I just put it down to lack of concentration, feeling down about the situation what Leeds United were currently in.
Yeah,
You want, I mean, look, if you wanted to, right, you know, we keep saying about mentally ill and wanting to look like he didn't want to be at Leeds. The
yeah,
thing is, though, Gary, he hasn't. He in the whole of the summer transfer window, he didn't kick up a stink. He didn't ask to leave or anything. Do you know what I mean?
well,
And
not that we know of.
yeah,
You know,
I saw Elon's interview. Mal, it sounds like he would rather take the money as the number one with us than Morich is as a number two. Any club needs to give this lad a break. Any club, we need to give this lad a break. A keeper
yeah,
is as good as he's back for. It looks like Farkas coaching staff I've worked on Elam. He is looking at a bit more assured between the sticks, and his confidence is improving, and
mm,
he is commanding his area a bit better.
mm,
Shelley says Ed Wootton was brought in by Farker as the new goalkeeper coach.
yeah,
And Mally says he made a good point that striker can miss 10 chances, then he scores one. He is a saviour. A keeper can make 10 saves but drop one clean out. He's a villain. Yeah, well, that's it. Innit? It must be the loneliest place in the football pitch. Being a goalkeeper, you're either a hero or you're a villain, and you know there's unfortunately there's nothing in between. You know, it's that's how it is.
Well, I mean, look at Maguire the other night. You know, he comes on the pitch as a
I felt for him.
substitute, and then
I feel
about
sorry
15,
for him.
10 minutes later, he's got a goal for Scotland. I mean, you know, everybody's in the spotlight and everybody makes mistakes, but I think it's the frequency, isn't it? And you know, they've we thought we had problems at our club. We still do have problems. You know, we've got Pervader appearing in court on driving charges. That's about as bad as it is. But I mean, if we thought we had problems, just look at what's
Man
going on at
United.
Old Trafford. It is a complete implosion down there, and
Well,
I'm just sat there watching the fireworks. Eh?
Everton's been that Mashiri and the Foot 777 have agreed a deal where they take over 94% of shares.
Wow.
So it looks like Everton are going to have new owners. The problem is with this 777. I've heard a lot of people, including Sam Allardyce, saying that they don't think they're going to pass the fit and proper test.
Well, I mean, if anybody knows about the fit and proper test and how to pass
Sam
it,
Allardyce.
Sam
Yeah,
Allardyce will know what to
yeah.
do. And you can imagine that Big Sam probably gets himself a consultancy role, gets himself a little payday, and gets him over the line. But I mean, I think you know they're on the hook for racketeering. They're on the hook for extortion. They're on the hook for a lot of different things in the US. This particular group. I've done a little bit of reading about it. I can't say it's anything in depth, but I just think let all these other clubs just get on with it. All we need to do is focus on Leeds United and hope that what I'm looking forward to is a game of decent, hopefully entertaining football this weekend because that game again that we did that watch along for. I mean that That sounded like painful work watching that. I know you were in pain watching that, weren't you?
Big Valley though says about Grizzly, he's accepted responsibility for us going down. That's why he chose to stay. So fair play to him. And
Mm,
Big Mal says that's what I've always said, Mally. Said before he was left as target bait. Most older players
yeah,
were ahead from last season. So
yeah.
why do you expect Meslier to be any different? It's a good point, isn't it? You know, I mean, it wasn't just Meslier who's had one in it. They all were. Talking about fit and proper test persons test. Did you see Rads and Chilino are having a bit of a spat about Ellen Road? I heard about it, but I haven't read up on it. I heard about it that I think the Square Ball have done a podcast on it, haven't they? So when we've watched this, that's something. If Mrs. will allow me, that's something I'm going to be watching. I promised Mrs. I'll do some work around. We've done. I've sorted out Christmas decorations. That's about it. I've
That's all
sorted
right,
them
isn't
out.
it? You're
Yeah, I've
on,
got rid
you're
of.
on, you're on. Stu, you are the man on top on everything, mate. You're on top of everything. Everything's organised. I mean, you've got a diary, you've got the Christmas decorations out. You know, little spot of vacuuming later on or whatever.
I've done
You
that.
know,
Did that
get the
earlier.
dust. You done that earlier. Yeah.
Did that earlier, mate. Yeah, run round with my cordless Dyson.
Eh?
I'd be
Wow.
lost without my Dyson. Honestly, I
Eh?
would. But the good thing, the downside is Scylla knows that I can do it with it, so she leaves me to do it. So
Yeah.
I can't use I can't use being an amputee in a wheelchair as an
No.
excuse for everything because she won't have it. She won't
No.
have it. She says she can do some stuff. You've got two hands. If you can
That.
reach it, you can do it. And she's got a point. She's spot on. Christmas in
That.
September. Give it a rest. I have to be organised, Mally. If I don't get organised, it plays on my mind and my mind. You know what, Gary? What time do I send you thumbnails? You know what I mean?
Uh,
My mind has to be busy.
I was sat in the coffee shop the other day and phone ding, and I'm like, it's 11:30 in the morning here, which means -6. It's something like 5:30 in the morning in the UK. And I'm like, what on earth is this? It's Stu. He's made me a thumbnail thumbnail for live stream. And I'm like, I said to him, Stu. I sent him a message back saying, Stu, get some rest. Get some rest. And don't worry about it. It's all right. You've got all day to make this stuff. Don't worry about it. You know what are you doing getting up at that at crack of dawn?
I were up deleting stuff off all the thumbnails off my computer at 3 o'clock this morning.
Oh
I just
my
can't
god,
sleep, Gary. And I try. What I've learned is I sleep when I need. When I feel tired, I'll go to sleep. I
that's
can't
it.
do
Yeah,
this. Go to bed at 10 o'clock at night and wake up at
the
6 in the morning. I
the
can't do it.
madness in it.
What does Del Boy say? Sleep so imps, and you know what I mean. You got to be up at crack of dawn. You know, and
Yeah,
that's. I'm up at crack of dawn, crack of night, and crack of everything.
yeah,
Um,
yeah. I mean,
I've
I'm up at 5 a.m. every morning, as you know. Local time here, it's 5 a.m. when I wake up. But sometimes I get to school and I look at my phone. And I'm like, oh, hang on a minute, Stu's online. It's just finished. And I'm like, I can't believe he's live streaming. It's like what midnight, past midnight, and
I
he's
upload videos. I've done videos
yeah.
1 morning, 2 morning, 3 in the
Well,
morning, 4
I often find that I'm at my creative best when I'm resting or supposedly resting, and I've got
Yeah,
ideas
I
in my
don't like
mind.
it.
That's when
I
some of
can't.
the
I
best
can't like
ideas that I have come to me. So anyway, I mean, all that by the by. Right, I'm gonna have to crack on, Stu, because I've got someone to talk to. A little bit of
What time is it over there now?
time now. It's not too late, but it's 9:15. But I'm meeting. I- I've got a little interview that I want to do, and it's
Yes,
preparing for
yes,
the stream on Sunday. So all will be spoken
reveal.
about, revealed when all that comes along. It's in
Yeah,
about starts in about
yeah, well,
15 minutes. But
I think this is
overall, Stu, very quickly, are you satisfied with Farker's press conference today?
yes, 100%,
100%.
100%.
Feeling
Yeah,
more
yeah,
reassured?
yeah. I always do when I listen to him. I
Mm,
always do. He's a very charismatic man in it. You seem to grasp everything he says. Right, well,
mm.
look, guys, we'll start wrapping up there. Thank you very much for joining us, Gary. Much appreciated. Mally, get
Thank you
yourself
so
better,
much.
mate, please.
Yeah, get well
And
soon, Mally.
everyone in
Mally's
chat,
sick, is he?
thank you.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's like he's got problems with it. It's like, you know
all
what
the
I
rest
mean?
of it. Yeah.
So, yeah. So, thank you, everyone, for watching this edition of the Table Team. There's only one thing left to say. It's a goodbye from, hold on a minute. The best ideas come in the bees, bed, bar, and bag. Thank you very much, Shelley. Anyway, thank you very much for watching this edition of Table Team. Until next time, guys, it's a goodbye from me.
And a very goodbye from me. Don't forget, of course, if you want to subscribe, tap on this one up here. And if you want to see more content on TDT, go tap on this one over here somewhere. And Stu's
And
going to
check
put
out,
those little links
and
and
check out your link with Watch Along Leeds. I'll put that in chat.
yeah. All the very best. Take care.
Take care. Bye bye. Bye bye.
Cheers. Bye bye.